Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be doing some experimenting with Micah, specifically in the mission Blessed Are the Meek, when he is in the Strawberry Jail. So there's a lot of secrets we're going to be diving into today, and we're going to be getting some more backstory on Micah, and also an incredibly sad tale that occurs in the town of Strawberry. So as I'm sure you guys know by now, Blessed Are the Meek is the mission where Micah is in jail for a confrontation he had near the town of Strawberry. And essentially, it's Arthur's job to break him out. Now, Arthur does not want to, and I can imagine a lot of you guys wouldn't want to as well, but nonetheless, he follows Dutch's orders and breaks him out of jail. And you approach Micah at the window of the jailhouse, which, by the way, you can see him on the inside, which is really funny, just to see him clinching to the bars of the window and knowing that he's locked inside. And if you actually go up to him, it'll trigger this conversation.
Arthur! Arthur!
Hello, old friend. Had a good time, did you?
You going to get me out of here?
I ain't decided yet.
Real funny.
Oh, I ain't joking, cowpoke. I heard so much bluster out of your mouth these last 6 months, and now I got an opportunity to watch you be silenced.
Well, you gotta do something.
Why?
I always looked up to you, Arthur.
Well, that's your first mistake. Listen, there's one little problem. There's only one of me, and there's a whole town full of people wanting to see you swing.
You got to do something, Arthur.
Now from there's a few ways in which you can get Micah out of jail. You can actually attach a steam donkey, which is conveniently enough right next to the window, to the actual bars, and it will break it free. If you do have any dynamite, you can simply blow the side of the wall, or you can go inside and talk to the sheriffs, which will trigger another conversation.
Yep. Hello, sir. I've come from Blackwater. I'm on the trail of a dangerous gang. Colm O'Driscoll. Heard you had some sort of incident.
We don't deal with bounty hunters around here, son.
I was just wondering if I could get a description.
Well, they weren't friends. They got in a fight, 2 men got killed. Now, one of them's an idiot, the other's some kind of dumb Mick, so maybe them's your boys. You can look right enough when we hang them.
Thank you, Sheriff.
This wall just needs some good forcing.
So no matter how you slice it, unfortunately, you do have to get Micah out of jail. If you decide to leave the town of Strawberry without getting him out of jail, the mission itself will ultimately fail, so there's no alternative timeline where you can play the entire story of Red Dead Redemption 2 without getting Micah out. Now, you can stay in Chapter 2 for a long time and just simply ignore this mission, but eventually you will have to progress in order to move on, obviously, and to get to further chapters. So eventually he gets out of jail, and what this does is it causes the entire town to go into lockdown, and you essentially have this entire firefight. However, during this entire time, Micah, instead of wanting to escape Strawberry, says that he has unfinished business, that he needs to make a business stop, and he's not being very specific. However, eventually the two get to the end of town, and Micah says he needs to take a stop at this little house. And this is what happens.
We really should get out of here.
Calm yourself, woman. Like I said, I need to see some. Skinny! Get out here! Skinny!
It ain't Skinny, Micah, it's Norman. Oh.
You always was a letdown, you fat sack of crap! Excuse me a minute, Arthur. Hello, Maddie. Did you miss me? They had something of mine. My guns.
So Micah goes inside this house, he pulls out one of his old gang members that he used to run with, or maybe just one of his friends, his name's Skinny or Norman. He shoots him, he goes inside of the house, and he shoots his wife, Maddie. Now that is pretty creepy. And this is the story that we're going to be diving into a lot more today. So let's actually rewind a little bit. This is outside of the mission. I wanted to find out what's inside of this house before we actually go through this mission. I wanted to see what's going on there. So using the lantern and pistol glitch, I was able to get inside of the house that belonged to Norman and Maddie, and unfortunately there is nothing on the inside. Even though during that cutscene we could clearly see that there looked like there was an interior, it looked like there was a staircase, but I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe during that mission, Rockstar triggers the interior to load. So I thought to myself, okay, no big deal. We'll just try and do this during the mission. However, Rockstar really blocks Arthur from getting access to the door and the front porch. Now, luckily, I was able to glitch myself on because I wanted to get inside and see what was going on in there. Now, once again, unfortunately, there was nothing on the inside as far as a loaded interior once we got in there. However, I was able to see who Norman's wife was, or who Skinny's wife was. And she can actually be found underneath the floorboard. And it's kind of random. I don't know if her body fell through the floorboard or if it's just the way the interior of this house works. I honestly think she's just a random NPC. I don't think she's a specific character because I really don't believe she was meant to be seen by the player. So we now have some background on who this is. This is Norman. He used to run with Micah. And that's Maddie, his wife, that he just shot in cold blood. Well, he really shot both of them in cold blood. But it is kind of an interesting tale. Now, from there, your objective with Micah is to escape the town of Strawberry and the rest of the oncoming lawmen. Now, as you do that, you will get more details on why Micah just did what he did. And this is what he had to say.
What the hell was that you pulled back there?
Got a bit wild, all right.
Wild? Making a house call in the middle of all that?
Ain't much I care about more than those guns.
That much is clear. Who was that fella?
Skinny? Yeah, we ran together for a while. Did a bank job down south. Didn't end well.
I saw how it goddamn ended.
He was gonna let me hang.
I'm starting to wish I had. And you owe Lenny, too. If he hadn't found us in time...
Yes, you will all be thanked profusely, I promise.
Yeah, well, you're lucky Dutch has got your back.
So essentially, Micah and Norman, that guy who we went into in the house, they used to do jobs together. And a job didn't go so well down south. And it looks like he kept Micah's revolvers. Like he had Micah's revolvers, and that's why he wanted to go get them. And Norman was also going to let Micah get hanged. Now, I don't blame Norman for wanting that to happen, but Micah felt that he was betrayed, and he ultimately went after him and went after his wife. Now, on the surface level, that looks like the end of the story. However, things take a very sad twist. So sometime after this mission in Chapter 2, you can actually return to Strawberry, and you can find a young man, I would say maybe teenagers or early 20s, wandering around looking for a lost dog. And if you approach him, this is what he has to say.
Hey, mister, have you seen my dog? I've been looking everywhere for her. She's been gone for hours. Can you help me find her? Please?
Sure, I'll keep an eye out.
She's a foxhound. You know, white and brown. If you find her, I live in a house on the edge of town. Thank you, mister.
So this will make a lot more sense towards the end of the story, but you need to essentially find the dog and you need to lead her back to the young man. And he says he lives at the house at the end of town. Well, wouldn't you know that you have to lead that dog right back to the same house that Micah went and shot up? And this is the conversation that you have together.
So good to see you, girl. Oh. Thank you, mister. We ain't never spent a night apart. She's the closest thing to a family I got left.
Glad I could help. You take care of her now.
Now, there's a really important line there where he says, thank you, mister. We ain't never spent a night apart. She's the closest thing to a family I got left. So we actually don't know who this young man's name is, and I don't think he's officially listed as a character, but it looks like that is the son of Norman and Maddie. And that dog is now the closest thing to a family he's got left because both his parents were murdered by Micah Bell. How tragic is that? It really does put an emphasis on what at first I thought was just a small interaction Micah had during that mission. I didn't put a lot of stock into it, especially on my first playthrough, but Micah made this guy basically an orphan. So just in case you guys needed one more reason to hate Micah Bell, we'll add this one to the list. He kills his old running mate, his wife, and leaves his son all alone without a mother and father anymore. And it's sort of a secret outcome to this mission that you might not have known about. But anyways, that's all the info that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.